How's it going, folks? We are finally going to talk about the frac tank in this video here. It is Wednesday now. We've used it for 3 days. We got set up here late Monday afternoon, I guess it was, and then we had some problems Tuesday getting going and whatever. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about the frac tank here. So we're going to get on with it. We're going to show some video of us hooking on to the frac tank here Saturday afternoon. Once we got some hay equipment put away, we ended up hooking the 8120 here onto the frac tank so that we could get it here on location. So we're going to talk about the frac tank in this video, folks. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, remember to hit the thumbs up, drop me a comment down below. We're just going to be talking about frac tank in this video here. Well, it is Saturday afternoon. We're just getting ready to hook onto this frac tank here. We're going to use this Monday. So we got the frac tank was brought in here on a semi, so we've got to lift it up, get the cylinders so that we can get the stops out of the transport stops off of them cylinders there, and then we'll be able to get the 3-point hitch to hook up to the pintle hook there. All right, Jared's pulling these cylinder stops out now. What are they? Just okay, we got to get some pins for them. So okay, all right, everybody out of the way. All right, down. Keep going, right to the ground. All right, so that's on the ground. Does that lift that up any higher? Not really. Okay, he's gonna back in and hook up now. It's just about there. Setting out a 6x6 wouldn't hurt, I guess. All right, lift up. Lift it right up, Nate. Lift it right up. Right up, up. Yeah, all the way up. Yeah, all the way up. All right, now we set them cylinder stops on there. Alright, Jared's just doing some maneuvering here. We're trying to see how tight we can turn with it. So, of course, with the duals on the tractor, it's kind of limiting us a little bit. So, that and that valve body on the other side is a little close to the tire. So, well, we'll get after this on Monday. Well, how's everybody doing today? We are going to be getting this frac tank set up in the field here momentarily. As you can see earlier on in the video, we ended up hooking this up Saturday, and then we got it up in front of the shop here. It's Monday now, And we just had to do a couple things to it, make sure it was ready to go. What it has is a remote to switch the in-tank agitation over to load. We had to do a couple things to that. Had to switch some wires around on the plug there so that it was running off of the hot wire on that plug instead of running off of the lights. It actually had it working off the work lights. So we're going to get this off to the field here now, and we'll get set up, get some manure in it, get the boys pumping out of it, and we'll see how it goes here. Alright, so we flew the drone around some, as you can see, a little earlier here. So we did dump 2 trucks in at the same time. Tim just left here with the tractor trailer. And we're spreading way down over there. There's 85 acres in all on this farm. I'm going to climb up on top and we'll take a peek inside as this is agitating. Alright, so that's as many RPMs you want to run it. I had to shut you down because it was spattering. So that's doing a good enough job. How many RPMs is that? 12? 1300? How did it pull down the road?
Fine, not bad.
Feel like you got pushed at all?
No.
I think we need any more weight on the front end.
Probably it bounces.
Does it bounce a little bit?
It's probably lighter than that new tanker though.
Yeah, you think so? Oh. Yeah, Jared ended up bringing it over, and I followed him for a little ways, and then I got out ahead of him. So, Jared's going to get back there. He's going to start running his tractor trailer. We'll have 5 trucks running here anyway, so. Alright, we no more than got into it here, and we ended up having a pin come out of this wheel on this spreader right in behind me here. We'll walk over to that in a minute. So we're kind of backed up here now, but this is the first the trucks have had to wait so far. So Jared's pulling out, the spreader just pulled away, and this tanker is this frac tank is full, but it's been working anyways. So we've had a couple trucks pull in here at the same time, and this has allowed them to keep things moving here. So it is just after 6 o'clock here now on Wednesday night. We've used this for 3 days. We had a pretty good whole day with it. Today, a partial day with it. Yesterday, we had some breakdowns, as you can see earlier on in the week here. I had a pin on the lower A-arm of that front right wheel to replace on that. And then this afternoon, we ended up having a wheel bearing that was gone on the back rear wheel of that green Diller trailer, so we had to put a new hub and wheel assembly and all that crap on there. So let's go over and look some things over here. Alright, we are standing over on the front left side of the frac tank. I've got the tractor running here now. This is a PTO driven pump that's on the front of the frac tank. Now, there is a few things that you can do with this frac tank. You could hook a few of these frac tanks together, and there's different valves on there to enable you to hook tanks together, and or you could run a drag line system off of the tank, whether you run it off of, there is a port on the rear, which we can go back there and look at it. And there's also, there's a port right here on the rear that you could hook two tanks together with, and then there's the same thing over on the front side here. And then there's also a valve on here that would enable you to hook this unit to a pump that would pump the manure to a drag line. So we ended up getting three of these remotes here, and these remotes, the operators that are running the spreaders that are in the field, if they have these remotes and if the PTO is on the tractor, and earlier on, like what I showed you with the manure in the tank and the manure is agitating, what the guys can do that are running the spreaders, we're using two of them here, a 6000 and an 8500. If the PTO is left on, you can actuate this remote here, and what it would do is it would transfer the manure from agitating the tank to loading the spreader. So what there is there's a couple of different knife valves on here. This knife valve is open here right now. That's this one. This one right here is open. So that pump is going to agitate the manure inside the tank, like what I showed you earlier with the piping, and it's pumping the manure around inside the tank so that you don't have any sand separation, and it'll eliminate the sand piles. So here's the remote here. It's already powered on, and if you actuate this remote, it's got the valve closed that's going to the load boom. That boom is going into the spreader. So you just actuate this valve, which that is agitate there. Now if we actuate this valve the other way, this remote, what it's going to do is it's going to open the load boom up to send manure out the load boom, and then what it's doing is it's shutting off this knife valve, and it's going to shut down the agitation process that's going on. Now these valves are hooked in together with each other, and the nice thing about this is you don't have any spike in pressure on that load boom, because before this one opens up all the way, this one doesn't close until this one is completely open, so you don't have a spike in pressure. If you want to watch that here now, I'm going to transfer it from loading the spreader to transferring the tank. And you can see that one's going in slow and that one's opening, so that it doesn't suck the sock in on the end. Now we're going to go from agitating the frac tank to load, and what's nice, like I said before, that one's going to close slow while this one opens, or this one's going to open slow while that one's slowly closing. And with it doing that, it won't allow that manure to be rapidly pumped up into that pipe, and that's what I worried about. I worried about that pipe lifting off of the legs there. All right, folks, so that's gonna about do it for this video. Mainly what we are trying to achieve is we're trying to just keep the trucks moving, so that we don't have the trucks being held up at all. We don't really have any problems with getting the manure off in the field. We have trouble with the trucks being held up. So this is going to enable the trucks to move a little more efficiently. And if you have a couple of trucks held up in the field, it starts to really add up with the amount of time that is just wasted. And usually the guys in the field can run pretty efficient, and they can get caught back up again if they have a problem with a tractor tanker breaking down or whatever. So we will talk about this frac tank a little more here, but I just wanted to share with you what we're doing with it and how we're utilizing it to just save a little bit of time. So hope you enjoyed this video. I don't want to harp on it anymore. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and do all that crap. But I just want to thank you for watching, and we will catch you at the next video, folks.